Alright, so if you're watching this, clearly it worked. I have a Garter SP110 spring installed with the Matirx full tune-up kit inside my gun, and I went to play last week and I was running into some issues with thinking that people were more or less cheating, because I knew I was hitting them. I could see my BBs going straight into their chest. But when I went to the chrono, I actually wanted to know what I was shooting because I had just put this new spring in, new compression parts and all that. I just wanted to see how I was rocking. By the way, gun shoots at 19 rounds a second on a 9.6 with this ZCI 22 TPA motor and Matrix 18-1 gears, which I'm pretty sure are just rebranded ZCI parts, since this cylinder head, nozzle, and all that are all ZCI rebranded parts as well. But anyways, I went to the chrono, checked out my RPS and my FPS, and my FPS was abnormally low. This is a Garter SP110 spring, as I've already stated, and I was shooting 309 with 0.2 gram BBs, which is incredibly low. For an SP110, you want to be shooting 400, if not above 400, maybe a little sub 400, but 309 was incredibly low. So I came back home and did a little DIY mod here with my gearbox, shimming my hop-up unit back to my gearbox using O-rings here. That is now sealed. I thought that could have been a slight issue, which it was. I could see it rocking back and forth as I was shooting, so I'm going to go ahead and seal that up. But the main issue I think I've just found is that this air nozzle right here, I'm going to try and keep this in place. My piston, there's so much air falling behind that air nozzle right now, and when it's pushed all the way forward, or all the way to the back position, I mean, the air seal's better, but when you're out here, I mean, this thing's losing air like crazy. So I've heard about reaming the cylinder head. For starters, this is the only cylinder head I have, so I don't want to go reaming it, and I don't particularly want to buy any more parts for this gun. I just want to work on DIY mods myself since I already have them, and what I think I'm going to try and do is I'm going to remove the O-ring on the inside of this air nozzle here, and I'm going to line the track for the O-ring with a little bit of Teflon tape, and then put the O-ring back in there just to get the O-ring to go out that smidge further and hopefully make a better air seal. I'm going to go ahead and cut away and try that, and obviously if this video is posted, you know it works, so you can go ahead and do it yourself. But yeah, and then expect a new video. I have a project gun coming up. I'm selling this gun. I said I'd do a review of the Matrix full tune-up kit, but I don't think I'm going to. You'll just kind of see the parts either fail or succeed as they come. Gears are perfect, all that. But for the most part, I can't really give you a solid review on parts that I've owned for a week. It's a matter of longevity when it comes to compression parts and stuff like that. And clearly you see I'm having an issue with the air nozzle, and then the spring that came with the full tune-up kit was just absolute garbage. I tossed it, and then the bearing spring guide didn't fit in my gun, so I have bearings on the inside of this piston here. Also, another side note, I went to Swiss cheese the piston and it completely cracked on me, so I'm using the stock G&G just metal release tooth piston, which, I mean, in this gearbox isn't bad per se because I don't need metal or a steel rack. This is just 18-1s, not running LiPo, just a 9.6. If I did go to a LiPo, I'd find a new piston, but I practically bought this gun just to rebuild it and resell it. I already have a few offers on it, but I want to make sure the gun is absolutely perfect when it comes to compression, FPS, and the way it runs. I've modified this tappet plate a lot, but enough about the gearbox. I'm going to go ahead and cut away now. If you guys have any more questions about it, you can go ahead and post in the comment section. I'll get back to you, or I'll make another video if I get enough requests, but with low viewership, I doubt I will. Anyways, what you came for, going to go ahead and try this little DIY mod and see how it turns out. Alright, well, I believe this video is getting published because it did indeed work. I did keep a small piece of Teflon tape just to show kind of how small. I mean, that you can see on my finger there. Comparable. Let me grab a small shim. I believe these are 0.02 millimeters. I mean, you can tell these are both quite small. This piece of Teflon tape I'm holding on my index finger is actually about twice the size in thickness that I put inside of the air nozzle here. What I did, and you can kind of still see it here on the scissors, I literally took the Teflon tape and put it down the side of the scissors and then just closed them after having a piece about this small, and the little itty bitty shred that came off of there is what I put on the inside of the air nozzle. It's so small because if I did it any thicker, the O-ring wouldn't fit back inside the air nozzle. So I just want to go ahead and show compression here, and I will do a more reliable test when I close the gearbox to make sure that this tappet plate is still moving forward and backwards the way it should. But you'll see here, I've attached the spring. Very, very good compression. In fact, I can't even move the piston past this point, and I've never had compression this good with an air nozzle. So that seemed to do it for me. Jesus. We'll double check my FPS. I'm not going to do the poor man's chrono or anything. I'll just check it out next week and then maybe post back or give an update or upload pictures or a small video of just it chronoing and then showing the RPS and all that. But yeah, I'm going to title this video like air nozzle mod or something like that, because I couldn't find this on any of the forums. All of them talked about boring out your cylinder head or just swapping out your air nozzle. Some people I saw were actually putting Teflon tape around the actual cylinder head, not right here, but around the cylinder nozzle. Terrible idea. Do not do that. But this mod seems to have worked for me. I'm going to just double check that when I close it up, the tappet plate is going to work and the gun's going to function fine, but that won't be in the video. You'll just see an update. But this is it, guys. Go ahead and leave comments if you have any questions about like the size of the Teflon tape I used. To get the O-ring out and to get the Teflon tape in, I actually had to use a safety pin. Nothing else would work. This is my, where is it? This is my smallest screwdriver. That guy is still too big to get that out. And this is really small. I mean, really, really, really small. But yeah, I used a safety pin. Go ahead and find yourself one of these. Or I tried using a thumbtack, but even the needle on that was just a little too big. So get yourself a small safety pin. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you later.